as you can see, I've got my toy plastic bricks out here that I'm playing with. This is actually a vintage set that I've had for years and years and years. I've also got some of this lovely, well, I'll show you. Chicago mix. You know, a bag 3 times that size as at Costco is the same price as this small bag that I bought at the grocery store. So anyways, getting back to these bricks. This is a vintage set. I've had this since I was a wee little kid. I don't think you can buy them anymore. And I had something, here it is. This is it right here. This was the instructions, or not instructions, but, well, yeah, instruction book. That came with it. This came with it here. So it's STA-LOX. But, you know, it gives you some ideas on how to build things, you know. Whatever. You know, you can build stuff like that. And you see that roof right there. That there. What they do is they give you this this green paper that came with it. And I've never used it. Never did use it. But that's how you put a roof on it. Now these bricks originally came in a cylindrical tube, you know, about this big and round, maybe as round as this, I'm not sure, I can't remember. But that's what they originally came in. Now, I've had this set for, well, over about 55 years, so it's definitely vintage. But anyways, you got little single ones like that, you know, little single ones, double ones. You got the 6, the 4s, and you got these nice little doors here, windows, and these have really yellowed. These have really yellowed because they used to be pure white. Now, of course, over time, they got yellow. And you got these nice corner windows. Let me see if I can find, yeah. And these would go like a corner window like that, you see. You know. So anyways, I'll just keep on building here. I'll just build a simple little structure. Now shoutouts. I always do my shoutouts on my what I call my Friday videos, because most of my videos come out on Friday. But lately I've been doing these midweek roll type things. So Melo RK7, your shout out is coming. I think either this Friday or the Friday after. I've said before, I pre-record my videos ahead of time. So if you haven't heard your shout out, it will be coming. And I usually try and, when you ask about it, I usually try and give you a date as to when it's coming. Another reason, oh, by the way, I've got my orange bubbly. We've had a bit of a heat wave lately. Linda and I took the cover off the pool there a couple weeks ago, and we actually swam in it a few days ago. So anyway, like I said, I pre-record my videos ahead of time. And somebody asked me why I do that. Initially, I'd record them. I'd release them the same day or the next day, whatever. But I found with editing, it takes longer, and you have to keep in mind, for a retired guy, I'm quite a busy person. It takes longer. And also, it's nice to have videos uploaded in case something goes wrong that I can't make videos. A perfect example is last Christmas. This is when I first started doing a lot of pre-recorded videos. It was actually slightly before that. I would do the odd one, but at Christmas time, you all know Christmas is a very busy time of year, you know. It's crazy. And so I recorded a couple of videos ahead of time because I knew I'd be busy. And I also wanted to get a Christmas video out, which wasn't really that good because it was very rushed and everything. And anyway, it was a good thing I did because I ended up getting sick, a really bad cold. It was just, he was brutal, you know, like, it may have been like a flu. It wasn't COVID because I tested for COVID. It wasn't that, but it was like really brutal, whatever it was. And I'll tell you, it laid me low. I'll tell you, it really laid me low. But I better not go too far with this. I'll make a tiny little house. A tiny house. How's that? Yeah, make a tiny house. You see those on TV all the time. Tiny houses. There's a tiny house in our neighborhood. Somebody has one in their driveway. Oops, sorry about that. Somebody has one in their driveway. I have to stabilize this a bit better. Somebody has a tiny house in their driveway, and it's beautiful. I've never been inside it, but I've seen the outside, and it looks really nice. Quite a bit of room too, you know. Because when you see them on TV, they look really good. When I was a kid, I would play with these for years. For years, for hours. Well, actually, I did play with them for years, but and then of course, I mean, this. I fully admit this is inferior to Lego. Lego was far superior to this. This is quite limited. And I don't even think they even make these anymore, but it's a nice vintage toy. Now, I told you that they came in a cylindrical container originally. And my mom was keeping these for me at her house. And about 50 years ago, she said, excuse me, she said, you know, those blocks you used to play with when you were a kid, did you, I have those, I set them aside for you, did you want them? And I said, sure, you know. So that cylindrical container is long gone, but she had them in this flight bag. Look at that vintage flight bag. My parents each had one of these when they went to Europe in '66. They went to Europe in '66 and they used those. So she was keeping all these plastic bricks in that flight bag. So I'm going to put a door on here. See how? Put this door on here like that. There we are. Now at this point you want to use a single one like that. See? Because you have to do it like so they all interlock. You also got these flat pieces for that one. I must have colored that one with felt pen when I was a kid. But there's some flat pieces like that. Oh, there's an even cleaner one for you. There. When I was a little kid, I used to build a lot of models and stuff. Model cars. And a lot of times I'd take the wheels and I'd make little race cars with these bricks and the wheels. It turned out really good. One of these days I'm going to do a video on, it'll be like a scrapbook video. My mom saved a lot of my stuff in a scrapbook. And my ex did the same thing for our kids. But I've got all kinds of stuff. You know, I've got, baby shoes and my first pair of cowboy boots, and which I still have, and a lock of my hair and whatever from my first haircut, which would have been about 65 years ago. And then I've, stuff like that, right? I think I need some windows. Let me see if I can put some windows in here. Better put a window in here. There, that'll look pretty good. And you know what? Before I get too carried away, spice tins. They used to come these little metal tins like Watkins cinnamon and all that. These little metal tins, and that's how we used to get them back in the back in my day, but the early mid '60s when I was a little kid growing up. And my mom had this Lazy Susan type cupboard that spun around. And I would sit on the floor and I would haul all that stuff out of there. All those little spice containers. There'd be about 50 of them. You know, like dry mustard and cloves and whatever. And I would haul all that stuff out. And I would build stuff. I'd use them as like little bricks. I'd make little houses and castles and stuff out of them. And play with that for hours on end, years on end, yeah. And but I always put them back when I was finished, you know. And it kept me amused. You can see it's starting to take shape. I had some pretty cool toys as a kid. One of these days I'll do a video on some of my favorite toys and that sort of thing. Here we are. I remember when my kids were little, my ex was talking about getting them something like this. And I said, we should just give them some of these type of bricks. I had no idea that you couldn't buy them anymore. I don't think they made them anymore. So we got them Lego. Like I said, Lego was far superior anyway. I remember also, as a little kid, having those building blocks with the ABCs on them and all that, you know. I think all kids had stuff like that. I like playing with that. Always a lot of fun. Yeah, the weather lately has been really, really hot. But it's nice. The only thing is the lawn. The lawn's grown like crazy. We've been having to cut the lawn more than once a week. Just going nuts because we get so much rain up here with all that rain. Then you get some sun. It's like, wow. And the dandelions. Do I want to talk about that? Good old orange bubbly. Can't beat it. It's good. Okay. Really coming along here. It'll be almost a year since I retired. Time has gone so fast. I retired May 17th of 2022. And I can tell you I'm not the least bit bored. You know, some people, they retirement is not for them. Some people do not suit retirement. Oh, I knew a guy who retired when he was 52, which I think was a little early. Because him and his wife, they had no kids, but they used to travel all the time. Travel, travel, travel. You name the country, you'd been there. But then when he retired, he had less money. And him and his wife would just sit around their condo looking at each other. So he went back to work selling cars or something. For years he'd been he delivered milk and dairy products to restaurants and stores or whatever. But he retired far too young. This is where you use those big pieces, you see. Here we are. It takes a lot of concentration here. And I know this other lady that I worked with. This is kind of funny. I may have told you this before, I can't remember, but she was counting the days, the hours, the minutes till she retired. Now, this was years ago. Years ago. And she couldn't wait to retire because her and her husband, they had a fifth wheel and they were going to travel. And she was getting out of there. She wasn't going to work anymore. Oh, she was done with work and yada yada. So she retires. And I'll put one of these here. She retires. And maybe about a year and a half later, she was so bored she couldn't stand it. She had to come back to work. Because for that year and a half, I guess the first few months were good. Her and her husband took the fifth wheel down to Arizona and Idaho, and you know, different provinces in Canada and whatever. And I think they did a Panama Canal cruise or something. But after a while, it just got kind of boring and stale. And you know, you have to keep in mind when you retire, you're kind of out of the loop. You know, you're not in on all the gossip. And she loved, you know, partaking and gossip. She liked to know what was going on, and no longer invited to the staff parties, and just really out of the loop because her work was not only her work, it was her social life. It was like her family, you know. It was a lot more than what she realized, and it took her retirement to make her realize that. And she couldn't wait to come back to work. She comes back to work, ends up getting her 10-year pin. I mean, she'd worked like 25 years before that, retired for a year and a half and came back and got her 10-year pin, and then worked about a year or two after that. It was hilarious. I still get a chuckle when remember, I'll never forget, she told me that she got her 10-year pin. We both just cracked up. She could have had her 10-year pin 4 times over. I mean, she started before I did, and I started there in 86. It was funny. So my daughter has been engaged now for a few months, and she's getting married next summer, she tells me. So that should be certainly something to look forward to. I think fiance. Her fiance is very nice. He's a very nice guy. This last one's always a bugger to get in there. There we are. Get that bugger in there. There you go. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here to finish this off, but I could maybe do something like this. As you can see, I don't have much of an imagination for stuff like this, but anyways. Wow, this stuff is so good. Oops. I'll get that one later. Okay. There we are. Make a nice little roof like that. Starting to come along. Oh. Yeah, I kind of forgot about these things. I've had them now for a long time, tucked away. I have a lot of stuff tucked away that I forget about. I think I've got a bit of the hoarding gene from my mom. She's really bad for not throwing anything out, but I guess in one sense it's kind of cool because, like I said, I'll have to show you that scrapbook she made for me when I was a little kid. Yeah, Mom's going to be 97 in a couple of weeks. I guess at my age, I'm lucky to have my mom. My brother passed away in 2018 when he was 73. So most people 73 don't have their mom. Now, of course, he'd be 78 if he had lived. And to still have your mom at 78 is pretty amazing. Some people do, you know. There's the door. There's a window there. You know, those nice, sort of like a corner bay windows, you know. It's a tiny home. I remember one time I made a replica of my first house. My first house was a character house. 3 stories. Beautiful old home. And I made a exact replica out of these bricks. It was kind of cool. I have a picture of myself and my brother at Christmas time. I got it was another cylindrical container full of these logs. Put these logs, just build log cabins and whatever. I got that picture somewhere. Yeah, there it is. I could put a chimney on there. I'm not sure what I was building last time I was playing with these things. That would have been years ago. I think my kids probably were playing with them at one time. They can be a little bit stubborn sometimes to snap together because plastic has a tendency to sort of change shape. Put the chimney back here, maybe. How's that for a chimney? Maybe just a little bit higher. There we are. Just finish this off a little bit over here. Okay. Put that in there like that. Oh, come on, you're being stubborn. There you go, you cheeky bugger. Okay. There's these type of kind of on an angle like that, you see. You normally put those like right on an area like that, so it's nice and smooth, you see. Oops. But I'm not sure how many of these I have. There we are. Push that in. I'm looking for more. Here we are. Okie dokie. Oh shoot. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. My house fell apart. I was pressing too hard on it. Oh man. Oh yikes. Oh well. Oh, that's a shame. See, I was trying to make the roof like this. I'll show you. See, I was trying to make it like that, nice and smooth. Oh, I'm missing one somewhere. See, kind of like that, you see. Yeah, that would have gone on. I can sort of fix this up right here. Don't hire me to build your real house. Because I know that's what you're thinking. See, like that, right? You guys want to hear a joke? My childhood friend Richard, rest in peace Richard, he had a joke that he first heard when he was a little kid. And he told that joke for years, right from childhood all the way to adulthood. It's quite looks that may not be funny at first, but you think about it a couple days later, it's kind of cute. Anyways, about 100 years ago, there's this tiny little village. And in that village, all the people that lived there were very poor. You know, they had to make, whatever they made, they had to make it by hand and whatever. They were very poor. And there was this guy who lived there, his name was John. And John he was missing an eye, so he used to wear a patch over his eye. And one day, one of the local craftsmen said, you know, I could make you a wooden eye, and you wouldn't have to wear that patch. So John said, okay. So the guy made him this wooden eye, he carved it out for him, and gave it to John to wear. So John popped it in, he's wearing it, but it still didn't look right. He was always very conscientious about it, you know, like he was very, you know, kind of, you know, kept his head down, kind of embarrassed, but he didn't want to offend the local craftsman who made it for him, but still, you know, it wasn't much of an improvement. So anyways, he had this wooden eye. So because of that, you know, he kind of kept a low profile, didn't go out very much, didn't socialize. So this one day, his friend Peter said, you know, Peter, you need to get out more, do some socializing and meet people, you know. And John said, yeah, I know. And Peter said, you know, there's a dance coming up. There's a dance coming up this Saturday. I think we should go. John said, oh, I don't know. Peter said, no, it'd be good for you. You could maybe meet some people, you know. So John reluctantly said, okay. So that Saturday, they go to the dance, and they get there. And, you know, right away, Peter hits the dance floor. He's dancing, he's having fun, and John's just standing there on the sidelines and thinking, maybe I should just leave, you know. But anyways, he's standing there, all of a sudden he looks across the dance floor, and he sees this young lady, and she looks quite cute. And she's kind of got her head down like that. And he can't help notice that she's got a peg leg, like a wooden leg, you know. So he's thinking, you know, that young girl's kind of cute, just all by herself. You know, because she has a peg leg, maybe she wouldn't really notice my wooden eye, or she wouldn't really care about it. So he's thinking, maybe I should go ask her to dance. So he's thinking, gee, I don't know. Then he thinks, you know, I gotta do this. So he makes his way across the dance floor. He's getting closer and closer. And he walks up to her, and he's standing right in front of her. And she looks up at him, and she's really cute. And he says, excuse me, ma'am, but would you care to dance? And she looks at him, she goes, would I? And he goes, peg leg, peg leg. He thought she was making fun of him. My friend Richard thought that was the funniest joke ever. I gotta fix my roof. Before it starts raining. Okay, here we are. I gotta squeeze that in there somehow. It's pretty tight. Get in there. Oh, I'm just missing a piece here on the bottom. Like missing a tooth. There we are. See? I miss my friend Richard. When I met him, he was 4, I was 5. He was a month shy of his 52nd birthday when he passed from lung cancer. Well, again, give you one last look at my masterpiece. I wish I had some wheels to put on there, because those tiny houses all have wheels. Any of you people have any topics you want me to talk about, let me know. I've got 2 videos coming up soon. I think you'll find quite interesting. One is about my days as a hitchhiker, which I did a lot of. I'm doing one about my old neighbor lived across the street from me. His name was Jimmy. He was an interesting character. That's my plastic bricks. Oh, man. Yeah, it's funny, when I was a kid, I just would sit there on the floor for hours playing with this and looking up the TV and playing like bricks, look at the TV, you know. Man, can't stop eating this stuff. There's a lot of pieces here. Well, this is a short video, but not bad for a midweek roll. Anyways, my friends, I thank you for tuning in. I hope everything is going well in your world. So look after yourselves, look after each other, and be kind to yourself, be kind to each other. And I'll see you next time. I thank you for tuning in. Stay awesome. Okay. Bye now.